Hey you all, welcome back to my channel today. I hope all is well with you. So I'm going to read the verse that I'm led to read first, and then I will get on to the message. And before I go any further, I will say some things get a little scary when you are getting justice, when you are receiving answers, and in the ways that they come, in the forms that they come, because they will come from a human sometimes. They will come by nature sometimes. That will come by whatever it is that you ask God, what type of clarification you ask him, he's going to give it to you. So somebody has asked for confirmation. They spoke to God in prayer, he heard your prayer, and now you are receiving the answers that you need. Some things may be scary, but you have to find them out. You could have felt these ways, you could have known this, you could have thought something was always wrong, because others have deemed you crazy, called you weird, called you all kind of names, and treated you other ways, and wanted you to treat yourself like this, and you have been through a lot. But enough is enough. My child, help is on the way. Wherever it may rain, there is help. Wherever it may rain, there is shelter. Wherever it may rain, there is food. Wherever it may rain, I am there. Wherever it is raining, I am clearing. I am restoring faith day by day, says the Lord. So, John 11. Now a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. This Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick, was the same one who poured perfume on the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair. So the sisters sent word to Jesus, Lord, the one you love is sick. When he heard this, Jesus said, this sickness will not end in death. No, it is not for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. And then he said to his disciples, let us go back to Judea. But Rabbi, they said, a short while ago the Jews there tried to stone you, and yet you are going back? Jesus answered, are there not 12 hours of daylight? Anyone who walks in the daytime will not stumble, for they see by the world's light. It is when a person walks at night that they stumble, for they have no light. Walking in darkness does not bring light. Doing things in darkness does not bring light. Therefore, it shall be exposed. What do a lot of us say? What happens in the dark comes to light, right? After he had said this, he went on to tell them, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up. His disciples replied, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better. Jesus had been speaking of his death, but his disciples thought he meant natural sleep. So then he told them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and for your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe, but let us go to him. Then Thomas, also known as Didymus, said to the rest of the disciples, let us also go, that we may die with him. On his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been dead in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem, and many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them. My bad, you all. Now Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem, and many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them in the loss of their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home. Lord, Martha said to Jesus, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha answered, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die, and whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this? Then you all can go read over John 10 and 11 and proceed to go further on where you are guided to and how you are guided to read. Okay? And the message that I have, I'm going to read the notes first. John 11, so didymus means twin, a double. Okay? So somebody could have been living a double life here. Or you could have been feeling like you've been living a double life. And out of every situation that you've been in, you chose to be happy. You chose happiness in every situation. No matter what you've been through, no matter what trials and tribulations that you stumbled across and had to go through, whether you felt like it or not, you chose happiness in every situation. You chose yourself. You chose to rise above it. You chose to move forward. You chose to not look back. You may have had a little bit of thoughts about looking back and going back to these things, people, and places. And sometimes you may have even went back. But still, yet you chose happiness. You learned some things. You learned valuable lessons. You taught yourself value. You learned your self-value. You taught your self-worth. The message is, God says the reasons you have had addictions are because that some people have done spell work on you to keep you high, addicted, distracted, devalued, and disrespected. They didn't want you to know your worth. And this spell work, it doesn't have to necessarily be witchcraft, but it could be. But spell work is also when you tell something to somebody. They go and talk to somebody else about your business, and then word goes around, and other people are talking about your situation in many ways, using different words, telling different people, not knowing what other energies and stuff people come with and are around every day, and what they do when they get other people's information with it. How they speak about you, how they laugh at it, how they spread the word like it's something to be spreaded. How when you got in trouble when you were younger in school, and then the whole family found out about it, and you were the joke, and now they're the joke, right? God says you have these addictions to food because they wanted you to be obese. They wanted you to not like your body. They didn't want you to see who you truly were. You may have these addictions to drugs because they wanted you to stay high, distracted, and out of your mind, out of sight, out of mind. Some people wanted you to go away. Some people did not want you to be here. They didn't want you to live to see these days and this day. They didn't want you to see where you could be. They put you through situations by doing these things, talking about you, laughing about you, judging you, harming you, stressing you out, crossing you out. They did these things because they wanted you to be devalued. Somebody's brother may be sick. Somebody is sick because of what they've done to you. God doesn't play. God does not like ugly at all. And it will not be tolerated. So I hope this gives somebody confirmation about what it is they've been through, what it is you're going through, what it is somebody you may know is going through, because some things are out of this world and some people just think people are crazy. But others out here in this world are really, really wicked, and they do things to people like this. So sometimes you have to forgive people because you don't know what they've truly been through. You don't know their story. You don't know how their testimony is going to make you feel, make you heal, how it's going to make you open your eyes, open your mind, and turn to God. Some things that happen to people are how we really open our eyes to God and like, man, I want no part of that. I want to be protected from those things, from these people, from those places, from these places. That's why God is saying, I need you to wake up. I need you to pay attention. I need you to get back on track. I need you to stay on top. I need you to stay focused. I need you to give it all you got. I know you're tired. I know you're weary. I know you're zoned out. I know your mind is all over the place. I know your heart is all over the place. I know it seems messy right now, but I promise you a blessing is for you. I promise you it's on the way. I promise you the break is coming. I promise you the growth is coming. I promise you the overthinking is going to stop. I promise you the fighting, the stressing, the cursing is coming to a stop. God says it will no longer come against you, my child. God says, I'm coming against these people who are trying to come off as something they're not. I'm coming against these wolves in sheep clothing. I'm coming against these disobedient people. I'm coming against the ones who are being very disobedient. I'm going against the enemy. I'm going against them all I am. I'm going against them with this protection. I'm going against them. I hear your prayers. I hear your cries. I hear your soul crying. I hear you speaking to me. Even when you're not praying to me out loud, I hear you. I hear your thoughts. I feel you. I know your heart. You're a work in progress, and that's okay. You're recovering, and that's okay. I took you through these things. I put you through these things. I put you through these steps. I put this blueprint out in your life so you can find your way back to me and find out who you truly are. God said, I put you in that situation so you can find your way out. It was inside of you. God says, I needed you to see. I needed you to know. I needed you to experience. I needed you to do the most. But now the ways that I'm having you elevate is where I need you. The ways that you were speaking out. The ways that you were going against the enemy as well. The ways that you were counseling out the devil and sending him back to hell. The ways you were speaking against the wicked. The ways you were going to therapy. The ways you were healing your kids by speaking prayers over them. By making the small changes. By getting up and making breakfast for them when you were not used to it. God says, even though you will have structure in your house and you came from a dysfunctional family, that's exactly what I needed you to do. God says, I know you are still experiencing some trauma and healing yourself from it. And I know it is hard. But that's exactly what I need you to do. God says, I know it's hard. But you are moving smartly through these mountains. You are maneuvering like it's nothing. You are knocking out these obstacles like it's nothing. You are knocking out these blockages like it's nothing. You are knocking down these haters like it's nothing. You are letting that sun shine like it's nothing. You are silencing these enemies like it's nothing. Yes, I chose a prostitute to be an example. Yes, I chose that celebrity to be an example. Yes, I chose that drug dealer to be an example. Yes, I chose that nerd to be an example. Yes, I chose that gang member to be an example. But God says, yes, I am choosing these people because they know how it is. It's not easy. You go through things to experience to see if that's what you really want to do. Versus what it is that you really need to do instead of really want to do. God says, I put you to the test and you passed it. God says, you uplifted yourself by having your faith in me. And knowing that I am you and you are me and we are we is even better. God says, I put you in that relationship for a reason. And I also took you out of it for a reason. God says, all eyes on you. It is bound to happen this way. God says, the ways that I am elevating you to speak up and speak out and pop off is what I am wanting you to do. You're not used to it, so I need you to step out of your shell. I need you to be these ways now. I need you to stand on business. I need you to be upfront, but respectfully. Nicely, kindly, in a very mannerly way. Kill them with kindness. I need you to check people about you. I need you to check people about your kids. I need you to check people about things that they talk about, but you know more facts about and can back it up. God says, I need you to do these things. I need you to stay focused. I need you to pop off from me. Pop off with spirit. God says, I need you to stack that money like you were stacking it. God says, I need you to put down this habit and pick up a healthy habit. God says, I need you to put down that alcohol and pick up something better. God says, I need you to put down that blunt and pick up something better. God says, I need you to put down that crack and pick up something better. God says, I need you to put down that phone and pick up something better. God says, I need you to drop this habit of watching something that you should not be watching anymore and pick up something else and view it and create your own image of something better. God says, I need you to create this better life. You create, we create, I create, we create together. Because I'm going to have more of you come together. Noah isn't done. Noah is just getting started. God says, my rising star, my phoenix, I need you to get focused. I need you to get on track. That's it. That is the message. And I pray that this was confirmation, a blessing. And like I said, some things are scary when you ask God for confirmation and in the ways that it comes. But when you are connected like that through source, through your soul family, it just comes like that out of nowhere. And through others. God is in many, many of us. All of us in many, many different ways. Okay? So yeah. Have a great day. Have a great night for whenever you view this message.